I'm going to show you some photographs that are not Meghan Markle. Not Meghan Markle. Not Meghan Markle. Not Meghan Markle. Also not Meghan Markle. And that is because those are obviously Rachel Zane, a character from the TV show Suits. For an embarrassing personal example, not Meredith. Not Meredith. Not Meredith. Meredith. And it's not only the costumes, it is also the way of acting. And while the captions make it clear that this is Meghan Markle as Rachel Zane, and it made me think how much of what people thought they knew about Meghan Markle before she started dating Harry is really Rachel Zane. How many people have seen this photo or a version of this photo of Meghan Markle as Rachel Zane and thought to themselves, there's something I don't like about that girl. There's something in the way she's looking and her posture. And this is not to excuse the very real racism that undercuts a lot of the coverage of Meghan, especially when she first started dating Harry. We're going to get into that in the Jezebel trope in just a minute. Funny story. I have never watched the show Suits, but my father called my brother a couple days ago and was like, I have to tell you about this new show. It's on Netflix. It's called Suits. But my understanding is that while Rachel Zane was a popular character, she was also certainly ambitious and sexy and wanted to move her way to the top. Which kind of sounds like some of the insults that have been hurled at Meghan Markle. That she's just using Harry for this higher goal. And of course these pictures are intentional because they're going to sell papers. They're scandalous. I mean, we could have put front and center a picture of Meghan Markle and her humanitarian efforts. And I'm not saying that one can't show what she does for work, but there was no other stills to grab from. This is painting a picture of who Rachel Zane / Meghan Markle is. And I think some of those feelings or thoughts have transferred from the character to the person. I also think this plays into a trope that is wielded against Black women, and that is the Jezebel. This is from the Jim Crow Museum, and it's all about the Jezebel stereotype. It's a way of portraying Black women as lascivious in nature. It's the Jezebel effect. White women are historically portrayed as models of virtue and modesty, while Black women are seen as inherently promiscuous and predatory. And I mean, yeah. And I'm not talking about acting or Suits or stills from the show. I'm talking about what the media chose to use to encapsulate who Meghan Markle is in their papers and the kind of message the photos send. There's a reason that you lead with her sex scenes in a TV show and not her humanitarian work. And that is not to say that there was never a mention of her humanitarian work and that those photos were not included. There were a lot of leads that focused on these steamy stills from Suits, or a flirty girl in a low-cut dress on Deal or No Deal. And pictures are one way to tell a story, to convey meaning, without having to actually say it. We know the racist coverage of Meghan started right off the bat. Who can forget stories like these? These pictures, also intentional. Meghan kind of looks sheepish. Oops. And Harry kind of looks like, oh my God. It tells a larger story and paints the picture of how you are supposed to feel about this article. But I do wonder how many people, and I'm not saying this is everyone, but how many people that have negative opinions about Meghan have them because they're conflating her with her personality on Suits. It's not because of that. It's because of the Oprah interview and the 17 I'm going to stop you right there. I'm talking about when Meghan first hit the scene. Before we had Tiara Gate and who made who cry and who is trying to unalive children with flowers in their hair. I'm talking about when she first came on the scene and they were dating. I think these stills from Suits of a character who is ambitious and trying to climb her way to the top, coupled with the Jezebel stereotype of Black women being promiscuous and conniving and aggressive, all leads to this incorrect idea of Meghan Markle. It's the same way actors report on playing a villainous role and then having people in person get mad at them for that role or thinking that they are the same as that person. Those parasocial relationship lines can get very blurry. And I do wonder if some of that played a role in how Meghan was perceived by the public. Not all the public, but at least the people that seem to align Meghan's character traits and values with a character she's played, and not so much what we actually know about Meghan Markle, which I don't believe we know a ton about any of these people, really. What we know is how the media chooses to portray and brand individuals. Kind of like how Prince Harry has always been portrayed as the party boy, the wild child in his youth. But I've seen various accounts point out that Prince William was right alongside with him and partying just as much. It just isn't covered in the same way because he's the future king. These are just some of the things I've been thinking about since I started researching more heavily into Meghan Markle and the media, specifically the early media coverage.